Wait, what is it?
Oh, so this is the song that I think is very similar to the one you just heard. Like in terms of maybe chord progressions and intro. The intro.
一千个伤心的理由.
Yeah.
Cool.
Play it.
So it's a one song.
It's one song, yeah.
So keep it to 8. Jacky.
Yeah, this is by Jacky.
What?
By the way, Jacky Cheung
Good looking Dave.
and Dave had a thing at that time too.
What do you mean a thing?
Like
a relationship?
No. They had like a competition thing going in media, right? Like people always compete.
A rival.
Compare
A rival.
Like some kind of.
Let's call it a rival, not a thing. A thing is a little romance based.
Okay, never mind.
I was like,
Were they?
I did not know Jacky Cheung.
That's not what I
Were
meant.
they banging?
Got it. A rival.
A rival. Yeah, they had some
Yeah.
kind
A
of
perceived
rivalry.
rival. A perceived rival.
Rivalry.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the
Right?
intro, right?
But there's an English song that does that too.
There is?
Actually, you know what I think it is?
爱过的人，我已不再拥有。
I think there might be a soap opera from the 80s and 90s that has a very similar piano motif.
In the West.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
许多故事有伤心的理由，这一次我的爱情等不到天长地久，错过的
Okay.
是
So, this is push-pull, but it is sort of I would classify this as a different kind of push-pull because in my perception and experience, this is being done a lot more intentionally. Now, I don't like either, if I'm being completely honest. I think they're both sort of unnecessary to the delivery of the notes, but this is Jacky's very on purpose personal styling, and he's not alone. There are other people, again, through my lens, it's used by a certain type of singer in my lens, but this is an on purpose use of that dramatic volume and dynamic shift, whereas the Dave Wang that you were mentioning, the way his push-pull is happening, I would say is more, the demonstration I always do is when I'm not a sports person, so bear with me, those of you who are sportsy. When we put out our mitt to catch a ball, right? We kind of can cushion it, or we can kind of be really strong and not have a lot of give. So I picture when the type of push-pull that Dave does is because he is really, there's a lot of cushion, and I would suggest that he needs a little bit more firmness when he's landing. So this is landing the note, okay? So when he lands his notes, it takes him a second to adjust it, and he gives himself that adjustment. Whereas Jacky is driving and putting his foot on the gas and the brake, and he's doing this to create a shape and a sound. So I always prefer sounds that are done on purpose, not things that are happening carelessly. But I will just state I don't like either being used. And Jacky uses a lot less in his modern stuff. And one last thing. I think there was more room for it in this era.
At that time,
East and West.
Yeah.
East and West, there was more
For
room
sure.
for this style of emoting.
Yes.
没有任何请求，许多故事有伤心的理由，这一次我的爱情等不到天长地久。
Jacky wins.
Yeah, I feel
Like this is
I always felt like he had more control over his vocal.
He does, and actually, I really do appreciate Jacky's tone. But he is like, this is so inappropriate, but I feel like Dave is like Walmart Jacky, kind of. Like, and I say,
Man.
okay, but let me say. Is that rough?
Well, I don't know if that's appropriate, but
Depends how people view Walmart.
But I don't
now.
know. No. Okay, here's what I'm saying. The reason I said that is because both of them are actually utilizing a similar toolkit. We've got push-pull happening from both of them. We have pitch bends happening from both of them.
But Dave
we
doesn't
have
do vibrato,
cries happening from both of them.
except for the vibrato. Dave doesn't do the vibrato.
He used none?
Almost
Well, he uses his own.
like very inapparent, not very apparent. at
Very
all.
little, yeah. Not as
Yeah.
common as.
Well, I'm going to make my point.
Okay.
We've got a similar toolkit. We've got the cries, we've got the pitch bends, and we've got the push-pull. But for me, Jacky is more deliberate and purposeful in how he uses all three of those things. And I also simply think that they are tighter and packaged and delivered more skillfully.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I agree.
走过的路再也不能停留。1000个伤心的理由，1000个伤心的理由，最后我的爱情在故事里慢慢成就。1000个伤心的理由，1000个伤心的理由，最后。
This is reminding me of an English song. Is there an English song
Yes.
and then the melody's like this is
Patrick Swayze.
yeah.
The time of
No, that's not what I'm thinking of. That's not what I'm
it's
thinking of.
different
I'm not thinking of that.
song. The Flash Dance.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Yes!
High
Nice,
five, high
nice, nice.
Yeah.
在别人的故事里，我被遗忘。
You know what else Jacky does a lot? Yeah. He does a lot of purposeful vowel and chamber shaping, which is done a lot in pop music today, East and, well, West for sure. And I imagine East has come to do more of it, but you hear him really crafting and shaping his vowels. Even on his ah, which we just heard, he even changed the placement and vowel slightly through his ah, which I like. It's very, very poppy. And in theater and classical, we don't hear that. So if a singer is more classical or theatrically influenced, they will generally keep the vowels truer. Nice.
Yeah.
You can even hear him add very purposefully. You'll hear him shift up into his mask sometimes. But this is a perfect case of a singer using mask as opposed to, oops, it's in my mask, or oops, I didn't know it was in my mask. This is a singer moving it so that we hear a shift in sound. This is how it's used on purpose.
爱过的心没有任何请求，许多故事有伤心的理由。这一次我的爱情等不到天长地久，走过的路再也不能停留。
No.
1000个伤心的理由，1000个伤心的理由，最后爱情在故事里慢慢成就。1000个伤心的理由，1000个伤心的理由，伤心的理由。
I can't with this vibrato. I can't.
And more Jacky Cheung than Jacky Cheung.
Yeah. Every time Jacky Cheung comes out, the super Jacky Cheung comes out of you.
Okay.
Woo!
最后在别人的故事里，我被遗忘。
Was he a sex symbol?
All four of them are kind of sex
Not a
symbols.
sex symbol.
No?
Not Jacky.
Not Jacky?
He's known as the vocalist in the four.
They can be both. Wait, what for? What for? What for?
Okay, so basically, I think, right? Okay.
He doesn't take his shirt off. He doesn't like get a wet white T-shirt on.
Okay.
He doesn't- Yeah, he's not like an Aaron.
He's got like
or
Hammer
Yoder.
Daddy pants on.
Okay, remember I told you like in the 2000s, usually we talk about the four most talented pop singers. We
Yeah,
talk
but you
about,
said-
like with Lee
you said
Hong,
J-
David Tao, Jay
Jay
Chou,
Chou.
and JJ, right? Those are like after the 2000s. But in the 1990s, the top four were Aaron Kwok.
Aaron, who the hell is that?
You haven't seen him yet.
You haven't seen him yet, and Andy Lau. You've seen him once with the big vibrato. He's a great
Okay.
actor.
Sorry. Okay, so
It's
Aaron,
Andy.
Leon.
do I
You
know
haven't
that?
seen Leon
You
yet.
don't know him yet. He was one of the earliest EDM singers
EDM.
in Hong Kong. In China, actually. Yeah.
I'm aware of what
The earliest EDM singer
Okay.
in Chinese
Okay, and
pop music industry. And then him, Jacky. The
Yeah.
top four.
Yeah.
They were called the four Sky King.
Heavenly.
Heavenly Sky King.
you guys always have the craziest names.
It's very epic. Very
The gods of
dramatic.
all things, beautiful and holy.
Yes.
All of them act, all of them sing. They're
Okay,
all
okay.
like in
Jackie was in movies?
everywhere. Oh yeah.
He was in movies, yeah.
Many movies.
Yeah,
He's
he's won
actually
some
not
awards.
a bad actor at all.
Yeah.
He's good.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
1000个伤心的理由，1000个伤心的理由，最后再别人不是与我买。
Wait, so who was the sex symbol in the four? Or was that an era that wasn't sex symbol-y?
The other three had, are
More-
sexy
more?
in their way.
Some people would argue the other three are better looking. So they could be more of a sex symbol.
Well,
Yeah, but I also think it's
Aaron
like-
has a very built body and he likes to take his shirt off.
Was he really built though? None of them
Oh,
were
he's
built
got abs and everything. Aaron
in
Kwok.
today's standards.
But he might.
Yes.
Jackie
him
might
up.
have abs under his hammer pants.
Andy Lau had six packs when
Andy,
he had.
look up.
But I think-
Aaron is actually built.
But I
Okay.
think it's
guy.
also choice. Like it's also not to go here, but it's also branding, right?
Yeah.
He might have a 8-pack, but if his
No,
branding
he's
is more
more
about being a
well-known
vocalist,
vocal
then you're
prowess.
not gonna like take your
Yeah,
wear
yeah,
freaking
yeah, yeah.
whatever.
That's not his style.
That's not
Yeah,
his
yeah,
brand.
yeah,
That's not
exactly.
his brand. But so of the other, there is sex symbol in that for
Yes.
God of all creation.
Oh yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
God of all creation，1000个伤心的理由，1000个伤心的理由，最后再别人。
It's so gritty.
Yeah.
舍弃的理由。
That was great.
It sounds like that.
Yeah, yeah.
不是你我的遗忘。
He definitely practiced way more on vocal control.
You know, part of why I think this push-pull went out of style as the decades went on, up until the most modern era, I'll speak for the West, is the coolest thing you can do currently is sound like you're really, really don't give a shit. And when you're doing this kind of stylization, which I don't relate to the push-pull, but I relate to really purposeful placements and really purposeful things. That's why I am less cool.
More
The more that,
theatrical.
more theatrical, right? Theatrical means like, I'm gonna do this thing and I'm gonna provoke you by doing this thing and I'm gonna show you with my voice. I'm gonna, do this vibrato or do this belt. Whereas today, now, when you think of your Tate McRae's and your Billie Eilish, they are very skilled. And Taylor Swift, people want to say Taylor Swift is not a skilled vocalist. She is, right? If I go to emulate Taylor Swift, I struggle. My toolkit's different than her toolkit.
Yeah.
So, people get, even East and West, people think like, oh, big belting and riffs, that means you're the most skilled. But really, they're just different toolkits. But that's my point is, what is on vogue, what is trending is to sound like you're doing very little and somehow it's just very beautiful, which is never true. Okay, there's no singer doing very little or nothing. Maybe Bob Dylan. Okay, that's just like, hey, man, hey, marine man, play song. Like, yeah, that kind of singing, you really are just like singing along. But other than that, everybody is planning the sounds they're making. Everybody is shaping the sounds that they're making. But this kind of like using dynamic like this is more calculated sounding. So this, I believe, that's part of why this has gone out of style, is because we now want to watch singers that look and sound lazy, but also excellent. So I think any of this theatrical stuff, now, I was listening to some tracks from Lady Gaga's new record, which came out last week, and it's super theatrical. And it was such that I know if a 16-year-old listened to it, to them, it would sound like Barbra Streisand sounds to me. Very dated, very theatrical, big giant vibrato, which her vibrato, Lady Gaga's vibrato, is not as aggressive, some would for sure say, as Barbra Streisand. But as the decades go on, our tolerance also gets lower and lower for this big, calculated theatrical sound.
That's why Jacky Cheung was ahead.
Yes,
Of its
yes,
era.
yeah, absolutely, yes, absolutely. And it's okay if you like this. Still, to this day, if you relate to this, and this sounds beautiful to you, absolutely, heck yeah. There is a bazillion different ways to evoke emotion, and people's taste, it doesn't matter what decade it is. Your taste is your taste. Yeah. I happen to still love Lady Gaga and how theatrical she is. Yeah. As a singer, I relate to it, and as a person, it sounds interesting to me. Yeah. So if you see this and you're like, what the hell, I still think this is beautiful. Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. This is just about, what I'm talking about is the trend. And you know who, unfortunately or fortunately, the tastemakers are 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds. That's who determines what ends up on the radio, because this is who's streaming shit. So that's, for many, many years now, who is shaping the taste. Beautiful performance. This is a beautiful performance. Yeah. Whether I relate to it or not. But it was a very, very well-shaped, well-planned, and well-executed and accurate performance. The falling leaves drift by my window. The falling leaves I see your lips, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold, but since you went away, the day